Hello and welcome back to our YouTube channel. This is our second video in our four-part series. This video is going to be on how Trump can realistically win the 2020 presidential election. Our previous video was on how Joe Biden can realistically win the 2020 presidential election. And our next two videos are going to be how the two candidates can realistically tie and how Donald Trump can lose the election and still remain president. Now, before we jump into this video, we did have a question in terms of how are the number of electors chosen per state? So to answer this very quickly, it is the number of senators plus the number of congresspeople that each state has. It's how many electors they get. So for example, in Wyoming, they have 3 electors. That is determined by the 2 senators. Every state gets 2 senators, and they have 1 congressional district for a total of 3. That is the minimum that any state can have. California, on the other hand, that has the largest amount of electors, has 2 senators and has 53 congresspeople. So 53 plus 2 is 55, and that's how it's chosen. And that goes across all the states. So the greater the population, the more electors each state has. Now, let's jump into this video. This is our standard map that we use every single video in terms of making our predictions. Once again, solid blue is solidly Democratic. Those light blue colors are leaning Democratic. Yellow are battleground states. Pink is leaning Republican, and red, and those solid red colors are solidly Republican. So as it stands now, on this map, we have 218 for Democratic candidate Joe Biden and 163 for the Republican candidate President Donald J. Trump. So while we take a look at this here, we're going to immediately choose those states that we believed, even in the previous video, are going to lean for President Trump. That is Arizona, Florida, Georgia, and North Carolina. We believe that these are more than likely going to go for Donald J. Trump for a variety of reasons. Past election results, 2016, where Donald Trump's money is going. When we break down some of the polling data, we maybe won't go quite far into this unless you guys request it, but state by state, county by county, congressional district by congressional district, you really do see where some of those votes are coming from. And if you ever watch CNN on election night or MSNBC or any of the major networks, you'll see somebody going through some of the states and breaking it down right down to the county level. John King does this for the last few elections, where he has this electronic board that he's touching on and going through county by county. When we look at Michigan, one of the counties that everyone always looks at is Macomb County, for example. In Florida, when we were looking for, how could Secretary Clinton in 2016 possibly get a win, they were looking at Miami-Dade County and Broward County. So there are a lot of different counties to take a look at. But based on all of that and our own projections, we're assuming that Arizona, Florida, Georgia, and North Carolina are all going to go for the president. Now, when we take a look at some of these other states and some of these other congressional districts that are up for grabs, we think that Nebraska's second congressional district is going to go for Donald Trump. Maine might be a bit of a toss-up. He did win it in 2016. Could be a little more difficult now in 2020. But before we jump there, we're going to make some predictions in these kind of 6 battleground states that are all clustered together. So Iowa, we believe, will go for Donald Trump. He has performed there quite well in the past, and it does seem to go a little bit more Republican in recent years. So we believe Iowa is going to go for the president. That puts the president at 241 to Joe Biden's 218. To get to 270, all Donald Trump really needs at this point is 29 electoral votes. So when we look at the map here to find 29, if Donald Trump were to win Ohio, that puts him at 259, and win Michigan, that would be the presidency. Despite what these other states would do, Donald Trump would get 275 electoral votes. Now, we believe Ohio is going to go for Donald Trump, so we're going to leave that in Donald Trump's column and take a look at some other possibilities. Pennsylvania, that would be a solid win, 279. We think Pennsylvania actually might be a little bit out of reach in this election for Donald Trump. He did win it last time very narrowly. Joe Biden does have some of his roots in Pennsylvania. He spent a lot of time there. Now, Donald Trump was there not too long ago in Erie, Pennsylvania, an area he didn't think he'd have to campaign in this election cycle. So that just shows you how difficult it may be for the president to get Pennsylvania. So let's put Pennsylvania in Joe Biden's column. Once again, we're at 259. We need 11 electoral votes. If Donald Trump does not win Michigan, but he wins either Wisconsin or Minnesota, and Wisconsin might be a very realistic possibility for Donald Trump, as the Supreme Court recently ruled that, or basically stopped Wisconsin from being able to vote, or count votes, rather, after Election Day. So a quick Google search here shows this from the Washington Post. Supreme Court rejects request to extend Wisconsin's deadline for counting mail-in ballots. And a little cutoff here, it says Supreme Court squashes Wisconsin's court order that said absentee ballots could be counted. And then when you click on this story, it is after Election Day. You can see it right down here by The Guardian as well. So that is going to pose a problem for Joe Biden. And why? Democrats are presumed, at least by most, to be more likely to vote by mail-in ballot than Republicans. And Republicans are more likely, at least this is current thinking, are more likely to come out on Election Day and vote. So because of that, that is a significant blow to Joe Biden and may very well result in a Republican win for Donald J. Trump in the state of Wisconsin. With that said, we now come to 269 electoral votes for Donald Trump. He only needs one more to win the presidency. That could be New Hampshire, sends him over the top, the 273. That could be Minnesota. Has not gone Republican wild, but came very close last time. That would send Donald J. Trump to 279. And let's assume that Minnesota does not go to the president and goes to Joe Biden. And that we're still counting well into the night or days later, Michigan and New Hampshire. Well, Donald Trump only needs one electoral vote. And if he wins that second congressional district in Maine, that may very well decide the election. That would put him at 270. So regardless of what happened in Michigan, regardless of what happens in New Hampshire, Donald Trump would then win the presidency. So among our toss-up states, just to summarize, that's Arizona, Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, Ohio, Iowa, and Wisconsin, and the single electoral district, the second electoral district in Maine, to go for Donald J. Trump. That would provide the president with a win and would remain the 45th president of the United States. That's it for this video. Tune in for our next video on how we are going to show a realistic tie between Joe Biden and Donald J. Trump. And please don't forget to subscribe and like. We've just started this YouTube channel, so you may very well be one of the very first to subscribe and like to our channel. So thank you for the support, thank you for your time, and come back for our next video.